Welcome back to Who's at the Chef Table with Chef Dan. This week, your hosts, Chef Dan and Doris WithaD, sit down with Chef Staz, the culinary mind behind Shuck N Dive, located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hello, I'm Doris WithaD, and welcome back to SoFlo Dining's At the Chef Table with Chef Dan. And today, we have Chef Staz, and we are in Fort Lauderdale. The name of the place, Shuck N Dive. And today, I'm presenting to you Chef Staz. Tell us all about the beautiful place. We're loving it.
Well, it's good to have you in here after a lot of years. So we've been here 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We started over on the beach by Shooters in 99. We were a small little 3-booth, 3-table, 10-seat. It was right out in the front on the road. I don't know if anybody remembers with Black Orchid, but we shared that same building with them back in the day. Yeah, with Chef George Tullis, one of the great chefs at Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And we moved down here when the downtown started to start its revamping and resurrection, so to speak. This area here was quite run down. Most of the buildings were shut, and I saw an opportunity to get in down here, and so we came here in 2005, I believe, and we've been here, like I say, 20 years now. Serving South Florida, the very authentic Cajun Creole, Southern food.
Awesome. Are there any other locations?
This is it. One and done, owner operator, chef owned and operated.
Awesome.
My wife is involved. She was played golf at the University of Tulane.
And her name is?
Megan Stassi. And she's actually the captain of the U.S. Curtis Cup team and a Florida Golf Hall of Fame. She's not here because she's at a tournament right now in Ocala. So I should be getting a text to see how the first round of the tournament went.
Bye, Megan.
Then we're done.
You're sitting with your feet in the sand at Spot in the Upper Keys, with an icy cold rum runner in hand, perfect fritter on the plate. That's the moment SoFlo Dining shows up. The sharpest guide in South Florida, totally free, to your inbox, 7 days before it's public. Vegan Homeboy finds you jackfruit tacos that don't lie. Rick Tobin's words of wisdom cut deeper than espresso. Doris WithaD says which pop-up's actually worth the drive. Who's at the Chef's Table puts Dan in your ear with every secret glaze the unstoppable women quietly owning this scene. We spotlight 'em. Snowbird's WTF keeps you ahead. Best deals. Hottest rooftops. 0 tourists. Plus Key West Spice's mango chili recipe that'll ruin you for takeout. Visit SoFloDining.com and subscribe for free. Taste what SoFlo has to offer early. As always, enjoy, and we'll see you there.
Do you have a personal favorite?
Black and blue oysters is kind of dear to my heart. It's,
Why?
Everybody has Bienville, Rockefeller.
Right.
Charbroiled is the hot thing now. It wasn't even a thing,
Right.
10
I've seen
years
that a
ago,
lot,
but
yeah.
now it's charbroiled or char-grilled.
Yep, char-grilled.
Just butter and cheese, which is phenomenal. It's the rage now in New Orleans. But we do a compound butter. And poach the oyster in the compound butter, little crumbled blue cheese and blackened seasoning, and just let that melt over the butter. And that's kind of our signature dish. Okay. Yeah, something that you don't get anywhere else.
Right.
And I have seen them pop up a few places now, coincidentally. And I do have a few friends. A buddy of mine owns a bar in Ocean City, Maryland, and he's got them on there. I got another chef friend of mine that put him on his place in Soho in New York.
Well, that's flattery.
But I'd say one of our iconic dishes is our fried green tomatoes. And
There you go, Chef.
Crazy the amount of fried green tomatoes. People that don't eat vegetables. This is my this is my one veggie.
Somebody that hates tomatoes.
Yeah.
I had them the first time like 2 years ago somewhere.
Right. In Georgia?
In Georgia.
Yeah, that would make sense.
For the first time ever. And I want them again.
And fried green tomatoes, that's not a New Orleans or Louisiana dish. That's a Southern dish. That's a Georgia, South Carolina, Charleston.
Right.
That's that. Lowland.
But I was like, I don't like tomatoes. She's like, try it. I'm like, tried a piece of hers, and I'm like, get more.
Yeah.
Get more.
Oh, yeah.
I like, but you don't like tomatoes. I'm like, these aren't tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something different.
But obviously, our say most popular ones are those authentic dishes. Your gumbos. Thursday is the only day we do jambalaya. We don't do it every day, so that way we can make sure it's consistent.
Very nice.
And each day we do seafood gumbo on. As a good Catholic boy, we do our Seafood Friday gumbo, which is they say in New Orleans, are you Catholic and does your mama make a good roux?
Roux was going to be one of my questions to you.
Yeah. So and I'll just feed in. Go ahead. What's the question?
Because I was going to say, so a lot of people don't know roux. Roux is equal parts fat and flour. It's a thickening agent as opposed to cornstarch and whatever. But what people don't realize is this cuisine has a special roux. Usually, as a chef, when you make a roux, you're looking for a blonde roux. In Creole, what is it, the darker?
Well, so we make two roux. Make a peanut butter roux.
Yep.
And that's what we use in our seafood. It's not as strong. And then we make what I call a 2 a.m. roux, as dark as 2 a.m. But I really call it a 4-beer roux. It's a 2-beer roux, is the peanut butter, and a 4-beer roux. Because it take about 45 minutes to an hour, and we do it by hand, and we use butter.
Yeah.
You need more beer.
You can't stop for a second.
No.
You got to scratch your nose. You got to get somebody else to keep stirring, and that's that balance between.
Yeah, but it's interesting because this cuisine is like the only one that has a specific.
Yeah. I mean, you use roux in a lot of French cooking, but it's mainly just a blonde.
Not the dark.
Not a cooked roux.
Right, not a cooked.
But just mainly you're just cooking the flour off, so it's not raw. We're creating a deep, intense flavor.
And the flavor,
Yeah. And consistently, make sure you don't bite into that gumbo. Your places you go, you get a clump of flour. You're not gonna hit that.
No.
Yeah. I worked for a few chefs after I got out of the TV business, and worked for a couple of chefs in Dallas that were master chefs. And one of the gentlemen was from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and I kind of broke my maiden, so to speak, with him as a sous chef doing the plantation brunches on Saturday and Sunday.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I was his whipping horse.
Wow.
So kind of cut my chops there in the kitchen. And like you said, I was maitre d' during the week. I needed money.
Yeah.
I had 2 small kids, and I needed to figure out how to make more money. So I picked up the apron, and Saturdays and Sundays we did the plantation southern brunch where we cook and then everybody would eat.
Wow.
And it's kind of where I developed kind of my knowledge and love of cooking Southern Creole, authentic. Spent a little time in Lafayette in summers before I opened up the restaurant, I interned at a place called Louisiana Woods and Waters, and it was a friend of mine, Bobby Richard. He helped me out, kind of showed me the ropes there in Lafayette, and spent some time in Préjean's, learning and observing there, and very iconic place in the area, and opened up on the beach in '99. Very limited menu.
You went from there,
and then was in the kitchen the first 15 years we were open. Put my hand on every dish that went out.
To the culinary leaders of South Florida, your kitchen is your sanctuary. Your cuisine is your art. So why are you letting the critics be chosen by the algorithm? Ask yourself, are you still letting untrained so-called critics represent you? People who have never truly stepped foot in a professional kitchen or grasped your style of cuisine are making sweeping judgments about your food to the general public. These are voices with no culinary background whatsoever, passing themselves off as experts. Your story deserves better. Your passion deserves a platform of integrity. Stop letting the noise and the inexperienced critics define your narrative. We invite you to sit with Chef Dan and Doris WithaD at the chef's table. This is an exclusive, authentic conversation between professionals. Tell your story, share your vision, and represent your restaurant with the authority it deserves. We offer the only platform in South Florida where real chefs talk to real chefs. Reach out to us today to book your seat at the table. As always, enjoy, and we'll see you there.
You're on vacation, so why are you spending your time scrolling through endless pages of generic search results? Stop wasting time with search engines built for everywhere. Get the guide built just for you, the Beachside Directory. We cut the clutter and bring you straight to the source. Local businesses owned and operated right here in the Fort Lauderdale metro area. Whether you need a great place to eat tonight, a trusted personal service, or want to book jet skis, kayaks, or yoga, we have the who's who of the community. Get the local perspective, find the deals and coupons, get immediate access to businesses that actually care about your experience because their reputation is tied to this town. Make the most of every minute. Go straight to the source. Visit beachside.directory. Your vacation starts now.
We go through 6,000-7,000 oysters a week here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
That's a lot.
everybody's got to know how to chef.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Just by sheer volume, one or two guys.
And again, people don't realize that's what makes them more valuable.
Sure.
Is that they can do everything. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, how come you didn't give me a lot of hours?" Well, you can only do this, and I only need you for this.
Yeah.
The more they learn, the more you could use them,
Sure,
the more hours
sure,
they get, the
sure.
more valuable
Yeah.
in that essence that they become.
Yeah, we've had a few guys that start in the kitchen and then work their way. They want to expo because they want to become servers. They want to get up front. They got that good personality, and they kind of get feel locked in the kitchen. So we've had a couple. Our latest guy Alfonso, he's started in the kitchen and he's just killing it on the floor now.
She's laughing because that's a story I tell everybody. I worked in an Italian restaurant, and hours were limited in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they had stuff on the floor, so I said, I'll go out there. And what happened was I ended up causing problems. Because if it was busy, I'd go in the back and cook up my table's appetizer for myself. And then it was like, hey, that's not fair. Why
Survival of the fittest,
Like, hey.
Solutions, not problems. I tell them all the time.
Yeah.
How is that not good?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
The idea is to serve with pleasure.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Is there any secret sauce or any special spice or anything that
Well,
you can tell
we
us
do have
about?
our own table sauces that are proprietary to us.
Okay.
Our regular table sauce, and we do smoke our pork in-house.
In-house,
So this is my rub. I'm born in Kansas City, so I do have a little bit of barbecue chops in me built in, and then we have our ghost pepper sauce, which is
I'm looking at that.
But my kind of connection to New Orleans came from originally my grandfather was in the produce and grocery store butchering business in Kansas City. So if you think about it, in the 40s and 50s, a lot of that stuff came through the port of New Orleans, coming from Mexico and the Caribbean.
Right. Yeah.
And there wasn't the transportation highway that there is now, where there's satellite stores where they can just pull from, and they're running to one, and you had to get it from the source. So my grandfather worked with a couple companies out of New Orleans. We used to go down. My dad was in the liquor business. He worked for a company, Cuddy Sark. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
old Scotch
my
Cuddy Sark.
uncles used to
Love that. So that, back in the early 60s, early 70s, that was the brand before all the single malts and all these great. And now, being a homeowner in Scotland, I'm a big single malt guy. So he worked with Cuddy Sark, and the distributor that he worked for was in New Orleans.
Okay.
So as a kid, that's why
there.
you'll see there's pictures around me as a little kid up and down
And
Bourbon
you would
Street.
be there.
On the stage, I think, playing the trumpet with Johnny Horn at the Maison Bourbon, right on Bourbon. So that's kind of where it started there. And at Saturdays, we do shrimp and grits.
Okay.
Again, not really a Creole or Cajun dish. Again, very much a low country, Charleston type vibe.
Brown gravy and
We do a brown gravy on ours, kind of like a duxelle.
yeah.
So it's a mushroom-based duxelle sauce
What
with
day is
crumble
that?
bacon over the
What
top.
what day of the
That's
week?
Saturdays, and then until we sell out on Sunday.
Okay.
And then on Sunday we do fried chicken, church chicken we call it.
wow. Yeah, just like-
mashed potatoes, pan gravy. 30 minutes to get your order. When you get the order in, we do it all hand breaded. It dredges for 15 minutes, then we fry it. Then you get it, then it rests.
If you want good and you
people
want
wait,
fresh, you gotta
and,
wait. Yeah.
We do generally sell out on Sundays pretty early. So get here early if you want fried chicken on Sunday.
Good to know. Is there a particular dish that you wish that more people knew about and would order it? Because,
our duck.
it's
Always
good.
people will tell you what's the chef thinks the favorite thing. But I'm a duck hunter. I love duck. I've been eating duck since I was young. So I love our duck. It's nothing spectacular. It's just I do it right. It's rendered 3 times. So
I'll be here.
We bake it slow.
I love
we
duck.
triple render it, and then we finish it in the salamander just to get that crispness
It's so
on it.
hard
It's
to
just-
find that done
and then
correctly.
it just matches
Yes.
really well with collard greens. and then we do a country potato with that, or what I like with
hearing
it
this?
is sweet potato fries, collards, and the duck.
Wow.
That's kind of, to me, is such a perfect, and you get a little bit of the vinegar,
delicious.
the hot vinegar on these collards.
Oh,
It really makes everything pop.
he's getting hungry.
Yeah. But like I said, it's really hard when I do a menu. It's finding something that doesn't work.
Right.
And when we don't have a lot of meetings here, but when we do, usually one of my first questions is, okay, which item have you had any issues with? Is there one that that just definitely? And everybody's like, maybe one person will say that, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
So really hard, and I can't make the menu too big because then you can't control it.
Yeah.
Right.
So we try to keep it limited, and we do have a special board every day that we post. Our only social media that we do anything whatsoever is we post our special board every morning. It did happen in the beginning, though. I will lie.
Hey, it happens.
but
But
we
I'm
refined
glad
our
that you
talents
found a
for
way
sure.
to time it.
I'm sorry?
It's a 2 beer and a 4 beer. You
Yeah.
know the
Time it the
timing
right
already.
way.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that kind of
Sometimes
timing.
the 2 turns into 3 and the 4 turns into 5. But,
Yeah, but who needs a clock anyway?
but nobody counts.
Nobody counts.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
So, try to stay to the authentic roots of Cajun cooking.
And that's it. Yeah, that's
And the diversity of Cajun cooking in Louisiana really doesn't limit you very much.
No.
You have the influence of the Native Americans. I mean, that's where filet comes from, and they didn't know about that in France when the French settled.
They didn't have that, right.
New Orleans was a Spanish colony.
Yep.
It was a French colony.
Yep.
It had the slave trade came through, so you had all the influence of Africa. Gumbo is an African term.
Okay.
Jambalaya is formed from words like that. So a lot of those cooking techniques came through the Caribbean too on their way. So you get that blend of Spanish, Native American.
Restaurant owner. If you're still chasing influencers, you're so 2023. That fad's over. No clubs to join, no monthly fees. The real ones, the ones with packed tables every night, are advertising with hyper-local pros. Not some kid from Miami posting from his bedroom or his mom's garage. We live here, we eat here, we write about what people drive 3 hours south for. Take a look at soulfuldining.com. Go right now and see which of your neighbors just bought the spot above the fold. You're not the first choice anymore, you're the afterthought. And if you're still flirting with that circus, you'll get buried in a sea of TikTok likes and follows before your next happy hour. Quarter page? Starting at $167. We team up with Beachside Directory, South Florida's one-stop from fishing charter, boutique hotels, quirky shops, to sunset cruise to your front door. Call now. The future doesn't follow trends, it starts them.
Hello, I'm Doris WithaD, and welcome back to SoFlo Dinings at the Chef Table with Chef Dan. And today we have Chef Staz, and we are in Fort Lauderdale. The name of the place, Shuck N Dive. And today, I'm presenting to you Chef Staz. Tell us all about the beautiful place. We're loving it.
Well, it's good to have you in here after a lot of years. So we've been here 27 years. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
We started over on the beach by Shooters in '99. We were a small little 3-booth, 3-table, 10-seat. It was right out in the front on the road. I don't know if anybody remembers with Black Orchid, but we shared that same building with them back in the day. Yeah, with Chef George Tolis, one of the great chefs at Fort Lauderdale. And we moved down here when the downtown started to start its revamping and resurrection, so to speak. I mean, this area here was quite run down. Most of the buildings were shut, and I saw an opportunity to get in down here, and so we came here in 2005, I believe, and we've been here, like I say, 20 years now. Serving South Florida, the very authentic Cajun Creole, Southern food.
Awesome. Are there any other locations?
This is it. One and done, owner operator, chef owned and operated.
Awesome.
My wife is involved. She was played golf at the University of Tulane.
And her name is?
Megan Stassi. And she's actually the captain of the U.S. Curtis Cup team and a Florida Golf Hall of Fame. She's not here because she's at a tournament right now in Ocala. So I should be getting text to see how the first round of the tournament went.
Bye, Megan.
When we're done. So we get all of our oysters from Louisiana.
Okay. Oh.
When I say always, as long as they're available.
Right.
Occasionally during spawning or a big storm comes through in the water, they can't harvest. And there's a list of all the areas. So it starts at the state border here and goes to the state border in Texas.
Wow.
So you go, and this area 1 through 29, I think it goes to 36 or something like that when you get.
And that's where they
harvest.
harvest. That's the
So
they harvest.
we try to get all of our oysters over in this area. It's called Black Bay.
Okay.
So I've found over the years, so I pre-book all these oysters, years in advance, and I've developed the relationships. So we try to get them over here where the mouth of the Mississippi comes. This is Barataria Bay. I hope I'm not behind.
Right.
And that's some of the most minerally rich waters in the world. I mean, you're thinking about the Mississippi is dumping right there.
Down, yeah.
Right.
So you get brackish up into here. Obviously, the further down you get, the more solidity you have.
Right.
So our soft shell crabs come from up in here,
Soft-shell
Christmas Camp
crabs.
Lake. I'm sorry, I might get in front of you.
No, it's okay.
So you can come in and ask what region. If you find I like Area 4, I like Area 5. Now, depending on the times of year, we do get them from up in here, and Christmas Camp Lake is another spot that I try to get. So, but we were talking about all the heritages or the melting pot of Louisiana food culture from all the different regions of the world. Well, it's kind of crazy here. We won't look at that, but see, it's Sportsman's Paradise, Louisiana. If you look at a license plate, it'll say Sportsman's Paradise.
Right.
So if you start in the Gulf of Mexico, you got big eye tuna.
Right.
Then you have redfish.
Right.
Then you have frog, turtle, crawfish. Then you get into the oysters, obviously, and crustaceans, and shrimp, obviously some of the best shrimps in the world, obviously shrimp, Barataria Bay shrimp. But then you get in your growing areas, strawberries, pecan.
Wow.
And
I remember the pecans,
then you got your duck and your land animals that you can harvest. Then you up north, and even in northern Shreveport area, cattle farms because you're Texas.
Wow.
So
what a rich area.
There's really nothing in the food
that you don't have.
So culinary school guys will tell you they'll have a Mediterranean semester. You got an Asian semester. Right. Well, a lot of places will have a Louisiana semester. Just
straight up
Louisiana, because you can cover the French techniques, the Spanish techniques, the local. The Cajuns were French Canadians. Yeah. They got ostracized from France to Montreal area, and then when they settled Montreal, they kicked them and they gave them the swampland, thinking they couldn't do anything with it. Well, they proved them wrong. So we're hands-on. Got a long-term staff. I have 4 or 5 guys in the kitchen with me over 20 years. I have 5 employees been with me for 25 years since the beginning.
We love hearing
almost all of my employees have been here 10, 15 years.
That's beautiful, like a family.
Of the 31 or 32 employees we currently have, I'd say all but 4 or 5 are long term. The rest are either high school kids that have started out as customers here that now work the door, and then some of them end up waiting tables here, and good local neighborhood bar.
That's the difference when we talk about owner operated and corporate. You have these stories. 20 years. You have people that were customers that come up you have, and she knows, I've had people that were my pot washer that are now chefs.
Sure.
Somewhere else.
Sure.
And, you know, that's...
I didn't let any of the guys' kitchen ever leave.
That's a good part.
I've kept every single one. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever lost anybody out of the kitchen yet.
That's a good thing.
Except for me. They've kind of pushed me out a little bit over the years.
Well, that's, you know, that's hard. It's hard to leave.
It's hard.
But
that's what the special board's for. Lets me keep my hands in the fryer. So
no, that's the good thing. Then you get to be creative now.
Sure.
You see, it's like once you build that trust, where you trust somebody, and we always talk about places that have, and I'm sure you have one. The guy that knows everything. You got a guy that's the porter, a guy that's the bartender, a guy that someone calls out. He's day shift, he's night shift.
Yeah.
And I said it's so hard to find that person.
Yeah.
But every place has one. It's like, where does that go? I don't know. Ask him. He knows.
Well, you know what's kind of unique about us is every table's every server. So no sections.
No sections.
So if a customer needs somebody and a server's there,
right,
they're your customer.
Whoever comes by.
So we always tell somebody, don't wait for that person to come back. They might not ever.
Right.
So grab whoever you have, and we all work as a team. They all share their responsibilities together. Right. So you're saying they all know what to do.
Right.
They all cross train.
Yeah.
They all can work the door. They all can work the expediting window. They all can work service
Love
bar.
that.
Yeah, that's smart.
So there's,
anybody
it's
can jump
tough
in
getting
at
some of
any
them to shuck oysters. Some of them play dumb, but they all know how to if they got to bust open a dozen. Everybody knows it has to be able to at least get a dozen open in the afternoon if they have to.
Chef Dan spent a little time shucking.
I was a clam shucker, though.
Yeah, there you go. You were clam shucker.
Jersey Shore on the boardwalk.
Sure, my wife, Ocean City.
Okay, right down,
That's where they grew up. She's a South Jersey girl.
As always, enjoy, and we'll see you here. Take care.
Who dat?
Thanks for watching, everyone, to another delicious episode of Who's at the Chef's Table with Chef Dan. Join us next week for more culinary adventures. This show's a proud joint production of SoFlo Dining and the Beachside Directory. Head over to SoFloDining.com to subscribe for free to our online magazine, packed with awesome features, discounts, and South Florida dining tips. SoFlo Dining is your go-to guide for all things tasty in the Sunshine State. See you soon.